5.9 Cloud Security for Hyper-V version 5. 5.9 Cloud Security for Hyper-V is the first and only agentless, complete security and compliance solution built specifically for Microsoft Hyper-V. It utilizes extensibility of Hyper-V Virtual Switch and allows users to secure multi-tenant Hyper-V environment and provide virtual machines isolation, to protect Hyper-V virtual machines with fast agentless antivirus with incremental scan capabilities, and to enforce PCI-DSS, HIPAA and Sarbanes-Oxley compliance. Multi-layered protection is provided with an integrated virtual firewall, agentless antivirus, and intrusion detection system. Agentless virtual firewall ensures complete traffic control and isolation between virtual machines. Antivirus performs incremental scans up to 50 times faster, and intrusion detection system proactively detects malicious attacks. Let's have a look at 5.9 Cloud Security architecture diagram. 5.9 Cloud Security consists of three components that include Management Service, Management Console, and Host Management Service that is installed on each Hyper-V host intended for protection. Management Service serves the only synchronization role to synchronize firewall rules and security settings between Hyper-V hosts and provide security management functions via Management Console. Host Management Service provides all the security features directly on the Hyper-V host. Virtual Firewall functionality is available because of integration into Hyper-V extensible switch and provides direct filtering of all virtual machines traffic inside the Hyper-V host. Intrusion detection system is also leveraging integration into Hyper-V extensible switch to analyze the traffic directly on the virtual switch level. Antivirus service is represented by two anti-malware engines that include ThreatTrack Viper or Kaspersky, and it leverages the change block tracking service that allows to precisely monitor all the change blocks within the virtual machines to provide incremental scan capabilities. Before I'm going to demonstrate 5.9 Cloud Security for Hyper-V version 5 capabilities, let's have a look at Microsoft Hyper-V Manager and Hyper-V Virtual Switch extension. To do that, we can go to Hyper-V Manager and open up Virtual Switch Manager. And under each existing virtual switch extensions category, we can see 5.9 Virtual Firewall extension. So this is the one that is responsible for filtering traffic on virtual switch level. Now let's get back to 5.9 Cloud Security Management Console and Virtual Firewall capability. Virtual Firewall by default is a deny all firewall. That means that if no firewall rules are created for a virtual machine, it is completely isolated from any other virtual machines, even if they sit on the same host, on the same network, even on the same VLAN. That allows to completely isolate virtual machines from each other and keep a maximum level of security within the system. As we can see, these two virtual machines are not yet monitored with 5.9 Cloud Security Virtual Firewall, so it means that traffic flow between these two virtual machines is not restricted. If we go to their consoles, we can see that in action. So virtual machine can easily ping the web server, it can open up the web page on IIS web server, and vice versa, web server virtual machine can also ping the Windows 8 VM as well. So let's enable the firewall monitoring for these two virtual machines to see what happens next. Once it is enabled, it means that this virtual machines can only follow the firewall rules that are configured for each virtual machine individually, and as there is no ISMP allow rule, you see that requests time out. If you look at Windows 8.5 virtual machine, it's not able to access the web page anymore, and once again the requests also time out. So let's create allow rules for these two virtual machines. To do that, I will use Web Client Security Group, and I will add an IP rule there that will allow HTTP traffic for outbound connections. And I'm also going to create a security group that's called Web Servers. It will help me to allow communication between web servers and web clients. So right here I'm allowing HTTP traffic, and direction is going to be inbound, and as remote virtual machines I'm going to select Web Client Security Group as a destination. This really helps to configure firewall rules much faster, and the configuration between groups of virtual machines becomes a very easy process. So let's do that right here. And right now we just allowed a web service to receive traffic from web clients virtual machines, and web clients can send HTTP traffic to any web server on port 80. As we also test an ISMP traffic, I'm going to add Windows 8.5 virtual machine to ISMP group as well. So let's do that by going into virtual machine settings, and here I'm going to set up Windows 8 virtual machine as a member of web clients and ISMP security group. So this will allow outgoing communication on port 80 and ISMP requests. As I don't want Windows 11 R2 server to be a member of ISMP group, I'm going to add it to web servers group at this stage. And I'm going to apply an ISMP template to configure ISMP allow rules. So now let's get back to virtual machines to see that traffic is now allowed. And if you go to Windows 8 virtual machine, we can see that ISMP requests also go through, and that virtual machine can now access the web server easily. After you allowed firewall rules, you can see all of them in the log. So log represents you all the data for allowed and blocked traffic. And you can also view connections table that allows you to view all established and initializing connections for your virtual machines. This is very helpful if you want to have full control on connections of your virtual machines. Finite Cloud Security also includes multi-tenancy capabilities. This allows you to create users with predefined virtual machines and allow them to manage their security settings directly from the Finite Cloud Security console. In this case, they'll be limited to their virtual machines only, and you can precisely identify virtual machines and role that each user can have for multi-tenancy purposes. IDS functionality is going to help you identify malicious or suspicious network traffic on allowed ports and thus identify potential attacks on your virtual machines. Let's view how it works in action. To do that, we'll emulate an attack from our Windows 8 virtual machine to a web server. We'll use Attack Emulator for that, and we'll point it directly with all the attacks possible here to the IP address of our web server. We'll run attacks. All complete. So let's go back to Finite Cloud Security Management Console and see what actually is represented here. As you can see, we can find all the data about these attacks within the log, and we can block this traffic with just a few clicks by adding a blocking rule within the right-click menu. So as easy as it is. We can block it completely, or we can block just some of that. Antivirus functionality is one of the key functionalities of Five9 Cloud Security. It is based on agentless approach and allows you to scan virtual machines directly by accessing the virtual hard disk files. This scanning approach allows you to scan virtual machines even if there is no antivirus running inside the virtual machine, even in case it is in off state or in case someone intentionally disabled the antivirus inside the virtual machine. The agentless approach saves you up to 30% of resources, completely eliminates antivirus storms, and allows you to perform the scans using incremental scan approach and as fast as just a couple minutes. Incremental scan utilizes a very efficient change block tracking technology that allows to precisely monitor all changed blocks within the virtual hard disk file, thus making the scanning process an incremental and a very fast one. If you compare incremental scan to common full system scan, you can see that if you use the common legacy full system scan, you have to scan system over and over again every single time you perform the antivirus full system scan. With Five9 incremental antivirus scan, you just scan system initially for the first time in full, and then every single subsequent scan is incremental. That results in enormous resources and time savings. So you can see that in our log right here. So a few scans that we run on this virtual machine happened in crazy fast 2 minutes for full system antivirus scan. In the view option, you can check antivirus status for all of your virtual machines, and as you need to perform initial scan to allow incremental scan capabilities, you can see all the virtual machines that require initial scan in this table, as well as other virtual machines and their antivirus protection status. Five9 Cloud Security provides essential security capabilities for compliance standards, and it also extends its compliance capabilities with integration with centralized logging systems like syslog or Splunk, and auditing user actions log. Management Service List allows you to support disaster recovery sites and includes security management for main and disaster recovery scenarios. Five9 Cloud Security for Hyper-V is the first and only agentless, complete security and compliance solution built specifically for Microsoft Hyper-V. It utilizes extensibility of Hyper-V Virtual Switch and allows users to secure multi-tenant Hyper-V environments and provide virtual machines isolation, provide Hyper-V virtual machines with fast agentless antivirus with incremental scan of capabilities, and enforce PCI-DSS, HIPAA and Sarbanes-Oxley compliance.